All right, so somebody asked me how you can automatically reset like a triggered door or trap base. Um, I had this little demo set up for a shop prize. 100th person who walks through this laser beam on the door, it would open the door, give them the prize behind the door. So I just modified it a little bit. Same basic setup. What's going to happen here is when you cross the beam, it's going to count up by 1, and it's going to start this timer that disables the laser for 5 seconds so that you just can't sit there spamming the laser. Um, but it still has the same purpose. Every few seconds, someone can trigger the beam. Once it counts to 100, it opens the door, gives you a prize, but now it's a gun. Um, this is more common for like a trap base where you're trying to, or a puzzle base maybe where you're trying to confuse people. Um, Fundamentally, it's the same thing. Once you get to your threshold, this counter turns on power. That sets your trap off. But the key to doing automatic resets is whatever triggers your trap also has to start your reset process. So in this case, instead of just taking the power and sending it straight over to the door to open, and then the door stays open until you come and manually reset everything, it takes the power, in this case into a branch. I could have used a splitter, and it uses some of that power to go into the clear counter, which effectively self resets. As soon as you've hit the threshold, some of its power sets itself back to 0. The rest of the power I'm using to trigger this timer because I want the door to stay open for a period of time. I don't want it to just trigger and then automatically close again. I want it to stay open for a period of time. If you're doing this for a trap base, you may have a bunch of things downstream from this that, open a series of doors, maybe start some other timers, maybe activate a blocker that closes some doors to lock people in, that kind of thing. But ultimately, if you want it all to be reset, then you want this to go back to 0 so that when all your timers are done and everything resets, it's ready for the next person. So that's what this does. The power comes out, some of it resets, some of it triggers the door. So right now I have the threshold set to 3, so if I cross this beam 3 times, you can see out there it just went to 1. Timer expires, the laser beam comes back on. Boom, I'm guest number 2. Timer's running, has the laser disabled, expires, now the laser beam's back on, and now unlucky guest number 3 crosses the beam and triggers this. Man, these lasers are flaky. Um, they get blasted to smithereens. It starts the timer on the door, but it has already reset itself with that power right there. So as soon as the timer expires, door closes, trap is effectively reset, and just waiting for the next person to come in. So if you are locking them in with this door, then part of your reset would be this timer would turn off the power to this door to lock them in. It would turn on the power to the other door to blast them. You get the idea. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you want to see a demonstration of a specific build or capability, then just leave it in the comments and let me know.